If the world should end in ice, in days of endless night, I'll let the snowstorms cover me in a blanket of white, and remember red, red robins hopping across the yard, hunting, singing crickets as the first evening stars opened up their eyes and dropped their golden tears on every windowsill, and always will, and always will.
What's going on in the Arctic area at the moment is probably the fastest moving response to global warming and climate change anywhere on the planet. It becomes more and more obvious that straight line representations are no longer the appropriate statistical tool for demonstrating what is going on in the Arctic. Then we see it looks like the end of the Arctic sea ice area in September by about 2015.
If it gets too hot, it goes away. And too hot is not very many degrees above where we are now.
Yes, the effect of an ice-free Arctic on the world is a very large one because it goes way beyond the Arctic itself. Because once the sea ice has disappeared, firstly, that produces a decrease in the global albedo, the amount of radiation reflected by the Earth, and has a knock-on effect in the sense that the warmer air masses in the Arctic in summer cause a retreat of the snow line, and the snow line decrease has just as big an effect on the albedo as the sea ice decrease has. And then there's the fact that as the sea ice retreats, it allows the water masses around the shelves of the Arctic to warm up, and that warms up the seabed and releases more methane from the subsea permafrost, which is melting away. And that methane itself is a very, very powerful greenhouse gas.
Methane hydrate is a solid clathrate compound. It is made up of methane molecules trapped in a crystalline structure of frozen water. It is often called ice that burns. When broken down, methane hydrate contains a quantity of methane equal to 164 times the volume of the hydrate.
When the permafrost thaws, the organic matter in the permafrost thaws as well and begins to decay. The microorganisms start to eat it. If there's oxygen, the microorganisms make carbon dioxide. If there's no oxygen, the microorganisms make methane. Permafrost. Right here. Frozen dirt.
About 8 years ago, switched to studying the East Siberian Arctic shelf. And actually we've been studying it for the last 8 years, continuously, year by year by year, conducting 1 or 2 expeditions a year. That hydrocarbons are produced within the sedimentary drape was sealed and prevented the methane escape to the atmosphere. That is why we are telling that this should be the largest hydrocarbon stock in the world. And in terms of potential risk, I would say that the Siberian Arctic shelf is the most potential because, as we said, the carbon pool is huge and the water shallow is very shallow, and the warming occurs stronger than in different areas of the world ocean. It's not a matter of thousands of years, it's a matter of decades, I think.
Permafrost stores methane, as Richard was talking about. It's currently melting. It's warmer up there. It's like 5 degrees warmer up in the Arctic than it is. The average temperature of the world is only up a degree, but up in the Arctic it's up 5 degrees. And it's releasing 50 million tons per year, which is a billion tons of CO2, and it's obviously rising. If it all went, we'd basically all be dead. I mean, and it's happening now. And the problem here is it's accelerating. Once it starts generating more CO2 than we do, it won't matter if we stop completely. It's going to keep going. These are positive feedback loops.
The human trigger is now almost irrelevant. The feedbacks have taken over.
Look at this. In a matter of days, just days, we're having this huge area. Look at this. Going, almost exploding with methane. The only way this is possible is by melting of methane clathrates.
You get this stream of gas that comes out, and depending on the size of your hole, you can get a very large stream of gas. So when you light that, you get a very large flame.
If the world should end in fire, the oceans boiling into flame, I will watch the last sunrise and think of all the sunny days when the mystery of the skies and the shifting clouds was enough to make me sure that behind the gauzy haze of life's listless dream, there's a place where time is dead and all things stand still and always will.
If the scientists are anywhere near correct, then this is the greatest challenge facing humanity today. It is the greatest challenge humanity has ever faced and probably will ever face.